actually forgotten how long ago the first time I came to Finland, but it's in excess of 30 years ago. And my first experience of coming here was supported by Billy Haggerty, who said, "Come along," and introduced me to some Finnish people.
Even the first time that I came, I really didn't expect to be in charge of anything. I thought I was just going to come in to help. Fortunately, I met a whole bunch of wonderful people. Even more fortunately, they asked me to come back.
Minä aloitin harjoittelun 80 Turussa. Silloin alussa käytiin kolmekin kertaa Skotlannissa tai Englannissa, eli 40 vuoden ajan lähes.
I first came to Finland 2 years ago to train, and this is my second time here.
It's always been an ambition of mine to come here and train with the Finnish people because they've come over to Scotland quite a lot. I've got to know quite a few of them, and they're just brilliant people.
Training with them and building friendships and learning from their experiences.
Olen oikeastaan kautta vuosien pyrkinyt siihen sen jälkeen, kun ensimmäisen kerran kävin siellä itse Skotlannissa kannustamaan ja rohkaisemaan ihmisiä lähtemään sinne matkalle matkaan. Seuraavaa kertaa ei tarvitse houkutella uudestaan, koska ne haluaa itse lähteä sinne uudestaan.
Aina matkustaminen kannattaa.
I've been travelling to Finland since I was 16 years old. I've been 7 times since then. It's a different way of life over here, and there's new things I've experienced that I wouldn't experience in my everyday life that's helped me grow as a person, helped me grow within the martial art.
Tietenkin puolin sun toisin ollaan saatu paljon tietoa, informaatiota sotopudosta, harjoittelusta, karatesta yleensä ja Billin suurella avustuksella, mutta myöskin mikä on noista
Training from a martial arts perspective with people who come from a different cultural background slightly from us brings a lot of new challenges. Let's say, for instance, somebody has only had an experience of one club in Scotland and they go to another club in Scotland. That expands their experience because they're now training with different people. When you do that across borders in a different country, that's a phenomenal experience.
One of the things that's always impressed me about Finland is the honesty and serious practice in training and thinking that I get from the people ever since I started coming.
I would encourage my younger students or students that maybe haven't had the opportunity to come over to Finland. It's important to make those new experiences to develop as a person, not only a martial artist. I think with Shotobudo, you make connections everywhere you go. People are very open, very welcoming, whether it's in Scotland, England, Ireland, Finland.
Still intimate.
Yeah, it's still an intimate organisation that spreads over different countries.
Yeah.
Siellä näkee niin erilaisia harjoittelijoita, erilaisia tapoja harjoitella Skotlannissa, niin se antaa niin paljon myöskin sitä lisää siihen omaan harjoitteluun, siihen meidän koko yhteisön toimintaperiaatteeseen ja rakenteeseen.
Ehdottomasti kannatan vuorovaikutusta, paitsi että me saadaan paljon puolin toisiin tietoa toisistamme, tietoa harjoittelusta, niin samalla me luodaan yhteisöllisyyttä.
I've taught in Scotland, I've taught in England, I've taught in Wales, I've taught in Canada, as well as Finland. And I've been very, very lucky to come across good people. But the Finnish have got special things.
Since the very first time that I came here, I came back to the club buzzing about it and telling mostly the people that were my age, you guys need to come. A lot of them have come since then, are here for a second time.
When a student comes up through the ranks and I'm thinking to myself, this person is interested in finding a little bit more about the martial arts journey, one of the first things I'm going to say to them is get to a national course where you can meet other people from other clubs. Very, very soon after that, I'm going to say, here's some people from Finland. Meet these people, spend time with them in Scotland, and if you really enjoy their company, which they always do, unequivocally, maybe come and spend some time with them in their country. Very worthwhile thing, and I'll keep doing it for as long as I can because it gave me something very special for a long time.
Eli ilman muuta, heti kun on mahdollista, niin kannattaa lähteä. Shotobudo on tavallaan sateenvarjo, niin kuin Billy on sen kuvannut, ja jonka alle sijoittuu paljon asioita ihan elämänlaajuisesti. Siellä on itsepuolustus, siellä on henkinen, fyysinen hyvinvointi, siellä on jopa tämmöisiä arvoja, että miten ymmärtää maailmaa.
some of the people I train with and some of the people I teach. Their experience of life when they come into the dojo is maybe something where they have been hurt or damaged or frightened. The instructor has to be able to model the behaviour of the people who are coming in. It's a comfort zone which you're slowly increasing.
Our style just helping the process quite a lot in that, just make it faster.
We've got to build up sufficient skills so that people can feel, see, respond. Safe being the key principle of my practice ever since I started training.
We change partners at Vaita Aparea many times as we are training, so there's a familiarity. You're now training with somebody who's this height, and when you come to Finland, many people are this height. And
Antaa paljon tavallaan työkaluja paitsi itsepuolustukseen, toimiva itsepuolustukseen, niin myös elämään ja elämän eri osa-alueille. Eli avoimin mielin. Nyt puhutaan hyvin kattavasta, hienosta lajista.
Onko se vaikeaa, että on useampi vastustaja? Se on ihan erilainen tilanne.
I try to develop a heightened sense of awareness of my surroundings. When a single person is moving towards me, that is something which I've become really, really comfortable with. Getting the right dynamic distance between me and the person, getting the timing right, getting the angles right, getting the actions and the reactions right. As soon as you change that scenario and you have people coming from all angles, it's a lovely challenge, because then you have to maintain the same skills but apply them in a much more complex situation.
One of the main challenges of defending against multiple attackers is the fact that there's multiple attackers. When you're having to deal with one person, yes, you're dealing with one person, but they could be throwing anything at you. You multiply that by other people and their different mindsets and how they're going to attack, whether they're going to attack fast, whether they're going to try and surprise you, and whether they're coming at you from behind. There's a multiple amount of scenarios that are working in your head.
The heightened sense of awareness takes you beyond the first person, often onto the second person. The peripheral skills that you're building up allow you to position yourself according to where you think the next attack is going to come from.
The kind of practice that I try to pass over is encouraging the skills and the confidence, not to get things perfect, but to make sure you can defend against more or less anything.
Kata harjoitellessa useampaa vastustajaa vastaan, siis mielelläni pitäisin mielentilan ihan samana, kun harjoitellaan yhtä vastaan.
Entering into their space and stifling that attack, that's an interruption. A teammate interruption is also something you can do with your words. And a lot of the time, even watching altercations between people, if someone's aggressive and the other person then responds with aggression, then that's when a fight happens, rather than interrupting that pattern of behaviour.
Eli kun puhutaan atimista, niin sillä saa luotua sitä tilaa ja aikaa. Tekoin sen, että se on ehkä ajoituksen sijoittautumisen jälkeen kaikista tärkein yksittäinen elementti kamppailulajeissa.
Mun mielestä ei ole erikseen hyökkäysmielentilaa tai puolustusmielentilaa. Ne on sama asia.
Mun mielestä se on ihan ensiarvoisen tärkeää nimenomaan semmoinen pizzamainen ajattelu, että se riippuen siitä, mihin suuntaan ollaan menossa, eikä se, että ollaan menossa yhteen suuntaan tai ollaan menossa yhteen suuntaan. Something like that.
Transferable skills are natural. In the early days, you were expected to stick to almost a rigid idea of karate, whereas that didn't fit very well with most of us.
There's so many transferable skills that I think you can bring from the dojo to your outside life. From today in particular, I think confidence that we built up throughout the day.
It's even something like when we went through the airport in the throat, trying to get in and out of you or coming straight towards you, and you're using parrying skills. Obviously I wasn't parrying and punching them, but it was more of aware of the distance, aware of the timing, aware of the speed, and just moving so I wasn't clattering into folk. So a lot of the modelling processes that we use apply really well into everyday life.
Sometimes I find that I'll get a concept in the dojo and then I'll go out, almost understand it through something that's not in the dojo.
I think particularly at our level, we can't just leave the skills here. For us, we'll try to develop our skills to such an extent that we can start to create practices and skills that we can pass on to children in our clubs as well.
niin kuin ihan ensiarvoisen tärkeää niin on se, että meillä ollaan luotu yhteisöllisyyttä. Ollaan tämmöisiä siskot, veljet, systeemiä. Ollaan elinikäisiä ystäviä ja vuorovaikutusta saatu tätä kautta. Ja se on jatkunut ihan tähän päivään asti ja jatkuu edelleen.
I've got friends in a different country of the world who call me brother, who I call brother, and there's a great emotional bond as well as a practice bond as well as a respect bond.
Se ei ole enää semmoista pelkästään harjoittelumatkaa sinne, vaan niin kuin Richard sanoi äsken tuossa, että me mennään sinne, me mennään ystävien luokse ja meidän perheen luokse sinne.
When these guys come to Scotland, our house is their house. When we come to Finland, their house is our house. And it's just a magnificent experience. I'm fortunate to say that I've been doing it now for probably over 30 years. Yes?
I agree.
We're getting old. Too old. We do a lot of work to bring people to the different countries. If the two of us didn't continue that, we would be stupid because it is such a valuable thing and such a special thing.
Really special.
Agree? And we get to punch each other as well.
No, siellä on varmaan kymmeniä juttuja, jotka tosiaan on hauskoja ja joita on mukava muistella, mutta tulee nyt semmoinen mieleen ehkä siinä tässä, että miten karatesta voi myös oppia sillä, että kun Billy tuli ihan ensimmäisiä kertoja pitämään leiriä, niin mä tein sen virheen, että varasin saliin, jossa ei ollut minkäännäköisiä. Billyhän tietenkään ei siis lopettanut, kello oli jo 6, taisi olla jo 8 illalla, mutta kun en kehannut suurta senseettä lopettaa. No siitä sitten selvittiin, mutta sitten mä opin siitä. Eli sen jälkeen mä huijasin Billyä kertomalla, että Suomessa on laki, joka kieltää harjoittelemasta enää 6 jälkeen. Niin mä oon niin kuin sillä päästy sitten jonkinnäköisiin rajoihin tälle miehelle.
I have a friend, Antoinette, and last night I was sitting in the car and Patty was sitting beside me and Antoinette was in the back and she said something in a very, very strong Irish accent. Patty didn't understand it. He turned to me and he said, I don't know what she said, but she sounds very angry.
Of course, I was going into many times. I look Lumad into Los into
And the whiskey distilleries.
Many whiskey distilleries in there.
First time I ever met Kimo, I was absolutely flabbergasted and it's made me smile every time I think about it ever since. What happened was we had just come off a very hard training session and we went down for a coffee and I had never seen Kimo before. And one of my friends went up to Kimo and says, "Hi, so who are you?" And Kimo said, "Kimo, I wrestle bears and fight people." And I was in knots.
In recent happy memories, probably the most recent spring school and the absolute beasting that we received. But I really, really enjoyed it and it pushed me to the max, which is always good fun.
I think you came back to Finland and came back with all the stories that you'd had when he was there.
Sometimes the time arrives when we stop and take a moment recognizing something special. Your organization, that something is you. Your support, dedication, commitment, and your art, your students, your peers, and your gang has been greatly appreciated. We wanted to present this lifetime award for you, really recognizing that your 42 years in Finland and your dedication as sensei and your friend.
I have known you a long time. I think it is 42 years at least, and you have come here. Somehow you have drawn us a map of the Shotobudo and the karate, with the deeper understanding what's the all there. More than that, the friendship. You know, there were a lot of good moments, laughs and some cries, a lot of sweat, some blood, some tears.
Many tears, much blood.
Yes. Thank you, that was the word.
I don't need gifts or awards. I need students that's prepared to put up with my nonsense so that I can make them better than I ever was. Thank you.
My favourite memory was literally last night. We were sitting in the cabin and there was maybe about 15 of us from different countries, Scotland, Finland, Ireland. Some people could understand the language, some people couldn't, but we were just having a laugh. Sharing drinks, sharing sweets, sharing stories. They bring you in, they treat you superbly well.
There's too many experiences that just make me want to keep coming back. These things are great to look back on.
Now that's the correct time to introduce the new annual award, and it's calling name William Bill Haketila.
Oh no!
One of Surfpro Finland individual who leads good example to life, both inside and outside of the dojo. They will demonstrate an excellent hard-won skill and respectful of the foundation and principle of your organization. The first person to take this award is Kimmo Nikkonen.
Arvostan, I appreciate.
Mä toivon sitä, että se jatkuisi tietyllä tavalla samanlaisena se yhteistyö, mitä se on tähän asti ollut. Vaikka me ollaan tietyllä tavalla erillään, mutta me ollaan kuitenkin yhtä ja samaa perhettä ja samaa tapaa tehdä asioita ja harjoitella asioita ja opettaa asioita. Ja ennen kaikkea se, että niin tulevaisuudessa vielä se, että me saadaan niitä uusia nuoria harjoittelijoita kulkemaan ristiin Suomesta Skotlantiin, Skotlannista Suomeen, luomaan niitä uusia kaverisuhteita, ystävyyssuhteita, semmoisia lifetime friendshipin there.
Kiitos.
I think I'll take home to Scotland, share with my friends there all the laughs that we have with our friends here and encourage them to come over and experience it from themselves, but also the skills that I've learned today in MP to implement that into my practice across all kata.
Aika vaikeaa välillä aina lähteä harjoituksiin. Tää leiri nyt antanut ehkä semmoista uutta kimmoketta taas, uutta intoa lähteä dojolle.
There are people who I've met in Finland who I genuinely love. We are two separate countries with two separate styles, but something happens when we come together.